Hugh Freeze was just on Game Day on ESPN, and some of the things he said to the host really shed some light on what's going on behind the scenes and his thought process with coming to Auburn. So while I'm not going to go over every single detail and every single comment that was made, I wanted to hit some of the highlights just in case you missed it, or if you did see it, I wanted to bring your attention back to these comments. So one of the first topics they covered was Hugh Freeze and social media. And so when Hugh Freeze was asked about his relationship with social media after he got to Auburn, he said that people in the office are helping him. There's a lot regarding social media that has changed. He didn't realize how much had changed, which I do find that comment a little odd because he's been on Twitter. So I'm not sure what he's referring to in regards to a lot has changed with social media. And then he also said it will be a joint effort. So that leads me to believe in his press conference, he said he was not relinquishing control of his social media accounts, but now these comments make me think that there may be a little more to that. So he may not be giving up full control, but my guess is that there's probably somebody who is also on his accounts who can see what he's doing. I'm speculating here, so I do want to say that, but the fact that he said it will be a joint effort leads me to believe that he is not the only one with control of his social media. There's somebody kind of overseeing what he's doing. That's my speculation. One of the other things that was mentioned, it said, how do you get Auburn back to where they need to be, or something to that effect? He said, recruits. And that is a fantastic answer. We need recruits. We need the dudes on the field who can get it done. Not saying we have a terrible team, but we need more players. We need more depth so that we can get back to a high elite level. He said, recruits, you can play. He was talking to the recruits when he said this. He said, recruits, basically, come on. You can play right away if you come to Auburn. You can help us.
For all the recruits that are listening right now, look, you can play right away. You can help us get that back there.
Everyone has to pull in the same direction. This is something that he says a lot.
You know, we've got to pull everybody together, head in the same direction.
So he really wants coaches and players that are all working in the same direction, because if everybody has the same philosophy and they're working towards the same goal, then a lot more is going to get done. And I 100% agree with him when he says that comment. There was one comment made by Pat McAfee that I thought was a little hilarious. He said, Coach, Twitter's going to miss you. I love that comment. I thought it was a little funny. It was a little tongue-in-cheek, but it was funny. And Coach Freeze did not refute that at all. So just keep that in mind with the previous comments I made about his social media usage. And then one of the last things they talked about was NIL and facilities. These are the comments he made about that. He said, Auburn is a special place. Every time we go to that place, we feel like we'd fit here. This was in reference to when he and his wife would go and visit their daughter at Auburn. He said it just felt right to his family to be there. He said when he's been meeting with players and recruits, which would have been very recently, probably yesterday, he said they want to know about what NIL will look like for them. So they're basically wanting to know, Coach, how are we getting paid? How are we going to get this money? Which, you know, there are a lot of rules and regulations with that, but they want to understand, how does the NIL process work for them and how's it going to benefit them? So this NIL thing, whether you like it or not, it's a big deal. He also said they should go about, you know, one of the jobs or responsibilities of coaching. He said we should go about creating value for them. That could be monetarily. Once again, you have to follow the rules and regulations, but also just how do you create value for them and make this a place that's worth it for them to come to. And then he said regarding Auburn, he and his wife, before he got the job, they had the conversation. If the door were to ever open, this is the right place and the right time for us. So those are a majority of the comments he made while he was on ESPN's Game Day. I would be very interested to hear what you thought if you watched it, or if you just listened to what I said as far as a recap goes. Tell me your thoughts on Coach Freeze and his appearance on Game Day. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you in the next one.